It's not a trip, this is how I feel. Pop champagne, I'ma do it for the thrill. Escape with me, I'm saying it maybe. We could take off and then land on a jet ski. Baby, I hold you tight. Top shelf with it.
You were having braid issue.
Let
braid
me tell you,
battle.
revelation about these braids, honey.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, wonderful idea in theory.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
But hunty, like after having locks for 11 years down my back,
Oof.
you know, carrying that weight around, you just kind of get used to it. And to this day, Carter, we're not here to play.
Hey, come here.
We're not here
Come
to
here.
play with you.
Come here. Lay down.
Gerald was looking at him like, what's
Thank
he
you.
up to? What's he trying to do over
Yeah,
there?
I'm like,
Other than that, she playing with him.
right.
Having my locks, like it just got to a point where I guess I was used to that weight.
Yeah.
But it also messed up my neck. Like to this day, I have these neck
Mom,
issues.
I remember back when you had your locks, you would just be like you would always be like, and I've told you this before, you would like stay up late on Friday night, twist your hair, do all these things.
You
like,
need to insert
don't
a
let you
picture
have
of
had
me
like
with
a
the locks.
bun. And I certainly am. Don't let you have had like a bun. And I remember me and Sydney would be looking at you like, Mom looks gorge and you are in pain. So like we're like marveling at you and you're like this. You have a huge bun on your hair. You're trying to balance it. You're also trying to stay awake because you were up the night before, twisting locks. Like
it's a lot.
You looked phenomenal.
Everybody's at church like, oh my gosh, you're like, and I'm like, thank you.
You know what though, Mom?
Thank
Come
you.
to think of it, you probably should have found somebody to do your locks. The thing was, you were so committed to the bit. Like
no, here's the other thing too. Financially, I just wasn't in a place.
That's true.
To get somebody to do it, and if I'm being totally honest, and this is what you do when you don't have money for everything.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do anything to my hair that I could not afford to maintain myself.
True.
Like that's why, like even getting this haircut that I got, I had to know that I could always go to the barber and get my hair cut.
Right. I forget that things were a little bit different then.
Things were different.
I forget that sometimes.
Like, I mean, I was a school teacher making school teacher money, but it was just my
It wasn't
money.
A whole lot of like, oh, it's just room in the budget for real.
And a little child support, which felt like bloop. It felt like a bloop, like barely a splash.
Like a little drop. like
barely a splash.
You had 2 children.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm gonna do every now and then, like I would get Auntie Stephanie to do it.
Yes, I forgot.
I would get color in it, but I had to learn how to like really zone in and perfect my craft.
Yeah.
For something like that. But I said all that to say, with the hair, like the weight of it, traveling with it, figuring out, okay, I'm gonna put it in a bun. And so I had it in a bun traveling to the airport. But then it's like a balance game. I'm at the circus.
Thing, I'm on a unicycle. Oh, I imagine you like going forward, going backward on the unicycle.
On the day we were at the airport for 4 hours, funny. I remember sitting down thinking, what was I thinking? This was such a bad idea.
Mom, you were keen on getting the braids, but also I wasn't in my head thinking, oh, the braids is gonna go bad either. So it's not even like I could say like, oh, well, I told you. I'm like, it's probably gonna be cute. It's probably gonna be.
I was keen on getting the braids. Let me just extend them out for a minute here. I was keen on getting them.
You weren't meant to have that length. No, that's very true.
It was supposed to be waist length. Yeah. And now that I know better, if I was to do these again, it would even be like right past my bra length. That's what the people who were doing my touch-ups, they told me like you could get it like between the waist and the bra. But when I went to go get the gray hair, they didn't have 41 inches. They only had 52. So here I am.
So here you are. And a couple things. Father's Day, you looked phenomenal. Okay.
Thank you.
It was like a fresh cut in the side. Right. You're like, I guess I'll like give it its 10s. No, like you looked so good. And then like it was pulled to one side. Like the first mom, it looked so good. And then also you probably need to go to my braider actually, because I have more braids than you and they're not heavy at all.
Okay. Let me be clear on something. These are not heavy braids.
Yeah.
They're just heavy for me.
No, but that's why I'm saying the way she braids, I don't think you would feel them as much. I don't think you would feel them.
Like, remember I told you when the lady was braiding my hair at first, she was very light. It was when her daughter came and was finishing it off. But my scalp wasn't used to any of that. So like when I first had it, my scalp was hot. It was tender.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my God. But when I would touch the braid was like loose. It wasn't like smack dab to my head.
That's
because
it.
they
No,
were
no, 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 no.
no, Carter.
And you know this. Thank you.
Because they were knotless. So, like, honestly, I really think my issue is just my issue.
Oh, no, I definitely think that's 1000% that's added on, because I do feel like if my braider braided your hair, you would still have like something, you know what I mean? I don't think it would be as seamless, but the way she braids, ain't no loose really going on. But also, she doesn't like squeeze the living daylights out of your scalp. Like somehow she has the perfect balance. Literally day one, remember how you were like sore like day one, you couldn't move it? Day one, I could put my hair in a bun without feeling anything. As a matter of fact, if somebody were to like hit my head, like I would have no reaction.
Yes,
if somebody were to
that.
hit your head, you would have been like,
but this goes back to
you know
your
what I mean?
scalp, I think is at this point for me is different from my scalp. My scalp is not the lock scalp I once had.
No, I agree.
This scalp is like getting more and more sparse.
Yes.
And so the skin, any pullage is a lot.
No, I'm with you, but that's one of her not claims to fame. What's the word for it?
Okay, I get it.
That's
what she's good for.
That's one of her specialties. Whenever she does somebody's knotless braids, she'll showcase, she's like, and you can pull it up in a bun same day. So like she's known for when she braids your hair, it's the type where now yours probably will be more sore than mine because your scalp has gone through more, but I think it will be a little bit less sore and the braids will be a lot lighter. When I had made my video about how I maintain them, somebody commented that they were like, your braids look super light. Like, what is it? And I'm like, the way she braids.
Well, you know
somehow,
what?
She's so good.
If somebody wanted to treat me to getting my braids done with her.
Here's the thing.
She costs way
would
more.
Treat you. I absolutely would do that without hesitation.
No
for whatever
pressure.
Reason. That was
no
funny,
pressure
though.
at all.
Oh no, I never feel pressure.
No, you got. I'm like this. But if somebody could treat,
no, that's never any pressure. You literally could ask me for anything, and you literally know it.
But you know,
I don't even mind at all.
Here's the thing. I'm still very mindful of like.
I know you are, but I'm like
because I respect money. Like
you do. But it's very much so like if you ask me and I can make it happen, I will, and it's not even tea like that. But
if I had to get it done again, to be honest with you, it would probably have to be that would be my last and final hope.
Yeah. Also, she's better, I think, like because you had like shorter on the sides, like I feel like she could make it stay. You know what I mean?
And even the lady who, when I went back to get the touch up, she made it not knotless, and I was thinking to myself, like, I didn't tell you to do that. How you were gonna go ahead and? She was like, she should have done it like this. So she did it the regular way so it can grab. And it did, but after I went through the water a little bit, a couple of them
you let water get in your hair?
It's the way you said that.
Like, sorry, because I'm like...
Even though it was such... It sounded like such a judgment statement. Oh,
sorry.
Well, we were at Aquatica. If there's any place that
we were
I didn't get submerged.
Oh, but if you went on a slide, you get water in your hair.
Like you're in a slide.
Yeah.
But here's the good news. Most of the water splashed and I'm shaved back here on my side.
Yeah.
So when I got back to the room and I was washing my hair, I didn't do a full wash. I washed my sides and I washed the ridges.
Yeah.
Now there probably were some splashes across the top as I was going through the lazy river. But I'm like,
you know, and what
most
could you really
of this
do?
is synthetic.
You know?
My hair is shorter.
What could you really do?
So I was fine with it.
Well, period.
And period. But yes, I thank you. I've gotten a lot of compliments for the hair, and I go through different emotions each day. But sometimes I just want to feel like that freeness I felt. It's like nothing.
Let me say this. I love my braids more than anything.
Shari, I think at this point, everybody knows you love those braids.
I know.
Honey,
and I almost love them more than my short blonde. And I never thought in life that I would love anything more than my short blonde because I love my short blonde.
Right.
But I might actually even like this more, but it's because when you go through years of, which is funny because during those years I actually wasn't missing it. And if I went back to it, I don't know if I would miss it. I don't know. But being able to style your hair different ways depending on where you're going and how you're dressed, I missed that. And I didn't realize it.
Right.
But with that being said, I don't think I would grow out my own hair just because I don't like doing hair. I like ease of hair. I like to wake up.
So tell me this, when I think about you and hair, you sound like you're very particular. Do you have any pet peeves as it relates to hair?
You know what's so funny? I was gonna transition in that way as well. Anyway,
why did you
as it relates to sorry, I just had to say it because I'm like, we are so similar because that was gonna kind of give me.
I saw you smile. I'm like, maybe she'll just smile and let it ride.
and let you rock, as I've been saying.
Yes.
You know what? It's not really a pet peeve. It's actually kind of funny. But back when I like had hair, it's like hugging Pastor Preston after church, like, or just make sure you don't hug him till after church because he's messing your hair up. He's putting you into a hug. I'm like, I'm gonna lose it.
Sometimes a headlock.
Yes, sometimes a headlock, and I'm like, and everybody say goodbye to the style that I had this morning. But what's a pet peeve? It would be when you would like have the windows down, and I'm looking at you like, I don't even know why you would do that. I don't even know why. I could have like a slick ponytail that I've just done, but it's not super gelled. So now the wind is blowing it. All my hair is just flying everywhere.
Answer that question?
I have my hair down. It's flying everywhere. You have locks. Like back before you cut your hair, you had locks.
Right.
So the wind wasn't affecting it. And then you had a short hair. The wind wasn't affecting it. And I'm in the back like about to lose my mind.
Answer the question as to why.
Go right ahead.
There are 2 reasons.
Okay.
Number 1, if it's not hot outside, I love fresh air.
Cross air, you like to say. I need cross air.
Yeah,
it's actually funny when you say that.
I love fresh air.
Yeah.
Number 2, as a single mom of 2 girls, I was trying to preserve my gas. And so when you run your AC, but I'm never going to preserve it at the cost of we're in there sweating.
I was about to say, if we were suffering, you weren't.
It's not even suffering. Like, it's hot. Okay, let's roll the windows up. But there were times, like, especially in the spring, the weather's perfect. It's clear. It feels so good.
Mom, I hated it so much. Like, I actually forgot. I forgot how much I used to despise the wind, like bad. Like if I would leave the house and my hair is done and it's getting windy, I'm like, I could turn around and go right back. Like, why would it even be windy today? I used to hate that so much.
So your pet peeve wasn't necessarily anything with your hair in and of itself.
No.
It just had to do with
it getting messed up.
Yeah.
And you know what? So
I believe that because when you had weave,
the comb, the brush, I'm always making sure
everything, all roads lead back to you doing everything perfectly.
I know. And it's like, you know, that's just a whole other story. But I realized it one day when somebody said, Shari, you know what? I've actually never seen you with one hair out of place, like ever in life. They were like, we could have danced an entire class and somehow like your hair is still intact. And that's when I knew the amount of effort. I said, yeah, like that's actually exhausting. Like I feel like I'm clocking in like to make sure every single day.
Every day your hair was in place. And you're going to make sure you are chapstick down.
Chapstick down.
Like everything is
I hate a dry lip.
Piece of surface area on your lip is covered.
How uncomfortable to have a dry lip. I literally cannot. Do you remember at high school graduation? Afterwards, I would like, you know, they're like, oh, graduation's over, whatever. I come to you and I said,
congratulations,
I said,
Shai,
do you have my Carmex? That's the first thing I asked you for. And Cindy was like, why would you be asking for that immediately? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I'm in pain. Like, I cannot have that
I didn't understand. Like, you're in pain. Like, you always say, you have these big, juicy lips that I love.
It's so uncomfortable. And I hate when you say that.
Well, I don't know why you hate it.
And you always say it.
You've had the same lips from the time you were little.
Even this size.
That would be creepy.
Have they? Ew, right?
No, but for your size, they were always like voluptuous.
Right. And I'm like
juicy. But back then, of course, at 2 months, you weren't putting on chapstick.
Yeah.
You just had a natural juiciness to your lips.
And when they get
But I don't
dry,
understand the hurting thing.
It's really uncomfortable for me to have lips that have dry lips. I don't know what it is, but like my lips, like sensory wise, it's just a big point of contention. Sensory. Like even just, and not too much on it. Even just,
ooh, what'd I do?
Mom, because the way you like slide things in, but I'll let you rock.
Oh my gosh. If you let me rock one more time.
Okay, and not you talking about the thing you're saying, rock out. And I'm like, and no, and say it right.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Whatever. But I was saying, it's just a hot spot of like, I don't know what it is. It's just an area that can make me feel really uncomfortable. Like, that's why I don't let food touch my mouth. Like, if I'm eating something, you're like, Shari, you open your mouth so wide. I'm like, because I don't think people know
that when you eat chips, you do this.
Mom, you know what's funny?
I mean, Doritos to me are some of the, and don't talk about how I say Doritos. They're some of the hardest
everybody says Doritos.
Chips to like keep from touching a corner, like I say,
because it's a triangle. Anything.
And so, of course, because it's triangle. And you be like,
literally.
I'm like,
I'll like twist. I'll be like twisting up.
But that's no fun.
I don't like
eating snacks should be fun.
I'm having a grand time. Who's
maneuvering?
One monkey ain't stopping no show. Like, what's really like? I'm having no problem. But the feeling of something touching my lips is really uncomfortable. I don't like things touching my lips, and I don't like them to feel dry. More than any other part.
In the words of Deanna,
I don't
that's
know.
them letters.
It probably is, okay. But when it comes to that, it's like it's a discomfort that I can't sit with, and that's what it is. Some things it's like whatever, you know.
Let me tell you
this. Like a tight ponytail, you could sit with it.
I didn't tell you this because it just happened last night. So we got in late, and we're driving in our neighborhood, and these people have all these fireworks in the middle of the road. I'm not talking about an off road. Like once you get into the neighborhood, you make a right turn here and a left turn here. I'm talking about, the main strip, where LJ's bus picks him up.
Yeah.
And then you drive down a little bit more.
Yes, I do.
Before you make that right. They're there. A whole bunch of people. They see us coming. Stuff is flying out. Okay. Here's my pet peeve. We wait. Mm-hmm. We wait because they can't help it. They didn't know we were coming. Of course they want to shoot fireworks,
and
right?
Look at you, consideration. Continue.
Right. Then the thing stops. The containers are still out there strewn across.
Nobody makes a move, huh?
They're just standing there. You're still standing
Nobody makes
there.
A move.
And so finally, the one guy comes out, but he is it a saunter?
No urgency, huh?
What's slower than it? What's the slowest movement? What's the
like a not a saunter, but it's a stroll. Like he's strolling.
Stroll almost seems like it's like
when somebody goes for a stroll, like you're not walking fast, like you're not setting like a pace or anything.
He just was slow, and I'm just like, we just sat here and waited for your fireworks. Why wouldn't you move a little faster?
No, literally.
So we can go.
Because actually, I'm so glad you said that. One of the things on my pet peeve, well, first of all, I've just had it with 4th of July, okay? I have had it. I don't like fireworks. And it's like every now and then, like a firework could kind of get you in your feelings a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you could be like, oh, it's nice. You see it, whatever. I need one firework max if it's going to be that. I don't
Here's the thing
want
with
more
me.
than one.
I don't mind fireworks if I am at a location for the fireworks.
Yes.
I find. Like if I'm there to see fireworks,
thank you,
then I am fine, right?
Yeah.
If I'm in my house and the fireworks have gone on too long,
I'm so glad you made that distinction. 4th of July,
I'm expecting to hear stuff. Of course, when we had the dog,
right?
It made me so nervous because he was so anxious, tearing up the house.
And Carter wasn't really loving it last night, but he,
like our neighbors sometimes are people around us. It'll be like after midnight, stuff is still happening. Gunshots.
It's like there's no.
Nah, I don't live in no neighborhood that people are shooting.
But in the South, period, people will be doing gunshots.
People will be shooting, and so to me. That's my number one pet peeve, I think, is lack of consideration.
It's like a lack of care. It's when you can sense that there's like a lack of care on somebody else's part.
Especially after somebody has shown you consideration.
Yes.
So I was just like, oh.
Yeah. And I was also going to say, I'm so glad you put the parameter of you're like, oh, if I go to an event, a place, and they have it, it's not going to be for as long. It's that for me. Because even though I could skip the whole event, I could actually skip the whole 4th of July. If tomorrow they said there's no more 4th of July, I wouldn't blink an eye. But a parameter, you know what I mean? When you go to an event, you're like, hey, they say it's going to be 10 minutes tops. Cool, 10 minutes tops. Like, when it's starting and it's ending. I think that's what it is for 4th of July, which makes me spiral out. Is it's like, this is a never ending, how long are the fireworks going to last? And I can't
But you know what? The year before you graduated, that was the first class through at the brand new school.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember nobody knew it. Graduation was over. And then the fireworks.
That was nice.
They got a picture of that. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like the fireworks are coming from behind the graduates.
Imagine missing the picture. Like the person who's supposed to take it. Like imagine they missed it.
Are you going to remember the last thing you were saying?
Yeah. I was wanting to know how many pet peeves you put on your thing because I said 5, but I was like, I wonder if she has more.
I have 5. But it's so funny, as I was looking at my list of 5,
what?
They all have to do, only one thing has to do, they're all kind of abstract. Like, lack of consideration.
Oh, I want you to do specific things.
I have one. I have a specific thing on
That's
here.
really specific?
It's very specific.
Oh, I'm excited. Go ahead.
All right. You already know it.
I love specific stuff.
Jimmy is still texting, and when I tell you the most nervous thing,
the text bubble
is the text
I
bubble.
don't like that. Here's the worst part though, like it stops. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And no message has been sent, and it's like
typing.
And what's going on?
All right, we were talking about pet peeves.
I want to hear your really specific.
You want to hear my specific one?
Yes.
Well, you know it. I cannot stand, and I have to be so clear.
Oh, I think I know.
Let me say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
I cannot stand this, but I don't want to be.
Wait.
I don't want.
Let's do this. Hold on, because
you're gonna text it.
Oh yeah, that's a better idea. I was just gonna write it down. So that we because here's the thing. Somebody could say, "Oh, I know what you're gonna say," and then the person say it, and they'd be like, "I was gonna say
believes that."
But you know what I mean? Here's the thing. You could believe me, but like there will always be like a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? Like
even though I believe you because I know you're not lying.
Yes. I'm texting it to you, but don't read it yet.
Don't look at
it. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I don't want people to think that I'm judgy.
Okay.
As it relates to this, because I'm not. I think I'm really practical when it comes to this.
I didn't get it.
But one of my biggest pet peeves is when people don't tidy up a space. Like not putting things back, not tidying up a space.
Yeah. I knew that.
Is that what you texted me?
No.
Okay, I'll look at it in a minute.
Okay.
You've been in the living room.
Yeah.
You've been chilling in there.
Put the pillows back.
Put the pillows back.
Yeah.
Get your cup, put it in the sink.
For you,
mail
it's specifically
comes
that.
in.
Yeah.
Go through. The mail is sitting there.
Whose mail is it?
There have been times, I'm not lying to you, I have let things sit for a whole week.
You're like,
simply
let's
because
see.
I want to make sure that I'm not being too anal about it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Drives me bananas. But I don't want to feel like I have to clean up after people who can clean up after themselves.
And you have every right. Read the text of what I thought it was going to be. But before you read the text, when I said specific, like I meant like really like niche and specific.
I thought not tidying was niched.
But I feel like a lot of people can be like, I don't like when things aren't tidy. Like that's not super niche. This is niche.
Oh, yes. When a movie takes place in one setting for the entire movie.
You hate that.
That is so true.
You hate that. That's why you can't really like watch Breakfast Club. Like I remember the first time I watched
Breakfast Club, the show. Breakfast Club, the movie.
The movie, yeah. Because I remember one time when I very first watched Breakfast Club, I think I was like 15, and I was like, I love this movie so much. Like, Mom, did you like this movie when it came? And you were like, Shari, honestly, like I struggle watching it because I just can't do.
Because it all happens. I could barely take one that happens like
all in the same day.
On the same day. You know the movie Straw. You haven't seen it yet, and
I just can't watch it.
Why can't you?
I can't do any more like Black women in pain movies for a while.
But it was really good,
and like, I don't even doubt it.
Black women came together for one another on that,
and I live. And I don't doubt that it was good because
live.
I'm so for that. But it's just like I'm at a point like right now I just can't watch it.
That happened in one day, but ironically, it was so riveting. Like I was just on the edge of my seat. Like I wasn't like. There was so much drama that was happening.
Yeah.
It really kept my attention. The only time I was kind of like, is when we were in the bank too long. like we're in the bank too long. Have y'all seen the movie Jerry and Jara?
Please. And they're both like, and we were in the bank too long.
We're still in the bank?
No, because say more about like why you don't like when it's in one place or just one day. Like
I know
Mom,
what it is.
Always said
at first
that.
I don't think I knew why, but till this moment I think I know why. At my core, I like freedom. And one movie feels like stuck. It feels bound.
Yeah.
It feels like there's no way out.
Because Mom, like when I say like you literally hate it, like
I like the free flowing, like knowing that we can move from one day to the next. Yeah. One moment to the next. Can we
move from one day
next
to
week?
the next?
Can we see next month?
Yeah.
Now, some people, this might be their pet peeve, but I love a good what do you call it? It takes me back and forth, past, present, future.
Oh, like time jumps and
time
things.
Jumps. Yeah. I can handle that. Matter of fact, I can even handle it when they don't tell me.
Me too.
Because you know what broke me into that?
What? Paradise.
No, not Paradise. Wait a minute. This Is Us.
Yes.
When I first watched This Is Us, and I realized they were time jumping.
Oh, we actually were living. We said, oh, this is 2 different years. It's because the way they did it, when they showed that it was a time jump, the reveal was they started showing you things that would let you know, like, this was the 70s.
I think I like it.
They didn't make it obvious at first.
I think I like it because it gives context.
Yes.
And I love a good documentary. I love a good backstory.
Thank you, because I was going to say, when you said you're okay with when they don't label it. I was going to say, I like that too, because then it makes, like, it forces them to be creative with the context.
Yes.
So I like when it's shown in context where you can just tell by the other choices that they make for the film that, oh, this is in a different time. I actually live for a time jump when it's done right.
When it's done right. And what's interesting is, I didn't even know I liked it even in a book. This book that we're reading, The Inmate, as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, we're talking about before. And then it took me till yesterday when I read my assigned chapters. I looked and I said, oh, it actually, reading. Right under the chapter, it said 11 years ago. Oh. It said present.
And for context, we're in a book club right now with my aunt where we're reading The Inmate by Frida McFadden.
And it's
who is like free. I love a Frida McFadden book.
I'm halfway through the book and I want to keep reading. And I have to put an apology out there to Dolores, because I can see why she didn't want to stop at the first 5 chapters.
Pure, because we definitely got into her and we were like, we said, but it's like, okay,
only because I thought the chapters were like super long and they're pretty short.
It's easy to get through, huh?
And I mean, the first night I sat down to watch it, like I was in chapter 10.
Oh, period. So I see.
And it didn't take that long. And this is in between me being on vacation.
I haven't started it at all.
So before you know it, every time Jimbo and I are in the car, I'm reading the book.
Oh, period.
Yeah, that's when you know you have a good book.
That's when you have a good book.
But I also realize books don't move as fast. Like, we're halfway through the chapter, but it's probably day 3.
That's what I love about books, though. That's why I'm like, people got to read more. Like, it stretches things out in a way. Like, I feel like it helps. I feel like it helps your attention span.
It's so detailed.
Yeah.
That
it's literally to me like watching the best show ever, because it's like you're reading it in piece by piece. Every time you read, that's one episode.
Right.
But I was gonna say I have not started it, but I'm like, oh, I'll start today. Like I'm the type like I could finish the book today. I'm like, but I'm gonna stop.
But you're gonna stop. Yeah, I wanted to keep reading. So what is your specific pet peeve? I don't think you've given me one.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think like which one do I want to do. Oh, I guess I'll do this one. People who just like don't know how to land the plane. You know what I mean? Like somebody starts speaking and they don't know how to land the plane. Please say your thought. Flesh it out before you start talking. Cause I'm like one, like somebody like starts, I don't do this to people in like who I don't know, because like that's rude. But like somebody I know, I'll be like, just wait. Like think about what you're like, like just give it a second. Take a second before you start.
Not you're giving them the pause. Like I see you're struggling.
Yes,
I do that to LJ.
Wait.
Not to get into an LJ rant, because we will read him for
in a
filth.
second.
LJ, one day when you finally start watching our podcast, sorry.
Man.
No, but LJ will be like, I'll ask him something and he'll start talking, and then he's like, well, such and such, and then he'll stop. And then, well, such and such. So I said, honey, process.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, just please take a second.
Think about what you need to say. And then he'll
take a second.
He'll process. He'll start. And I think he's going to do it. And then he'll stop again. I said, you didn't process long enough.
I'm telling you, like, I cannot take it. And that's part of, like, I like things to, like, move fast. So it's, like, that's partly a me issue.
Right.
But just in general, you know what it is? Because I value a great storyteller, like, the opposite, the antithesis to my pet peeve is I love people who are great at landing the plane. It's, like, my favorite thing. Because
you're going on the journey with them.
I am so ready for a journey when people speak.
Right.
And I hate to be hanging on to somebody's every word, not in a good way.
You know
what I mean? I want to be hanging on in a crazy way.
You just did that. I wasn't not landing the plane, but I was about to say something. And then before, even when we were talking about Orlando, you were like, so was the pasta good? Like, you wanted to know.
I'm like, come on.
Sometimes there are things you want to know right then and there. And
because
I'm
sometimes
trying to build up the story.
Yeah. And that's why I said, I'm like, partly sometimes it's me because I like for things to happen fast, but I'll give you your 10s
in a second. I like the plot curve.
Yes. But I do that sometimes, because sometimes you'll be talking and I'll be like, Mom, please. But it's like
I just started talking.
My brain, I know my brain is just like rushing, but part of that, I'm like, I know that's me.
You have to do your own self-management.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't make that other people's problem. My pet peeve is more so like, I love a good storyteller and a good speaker. So when somebody's just like not getting there, I'm like, if somebody else was there, let them tell the story. Like maybe you don't need to be the one to do, you know what I mean? Also because I love just being told a story in general. Like I'd be ready to lock in. I'm like, ooh, what you about to tell us?
But I will say this, you know what you do good on? Like if I'm telling you about like a Lifetime movie I saw.
Thank you, because that's where I was about to give you your 10s. You are like one of the best storytellers of life. I could have not seen a movie, and I live because sometimes I just want to know about a movie. I don't want to see it, but I want to know everything that happens. You've told it to me. I've seen it. I'm like, and I've seen the movie. So it's like, because I know what it looks like for somebody to really know how to land a plane, when they don't, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump out of my skin. Like, I don't think I can take it.
And then there's been times where I've told you something, and then you may have seen like part of the movie or something came on. You're like, Mom, that's exactly how you explained it.
Mom, yes.
And I'd be like, really?
I'll be like, I saw that part and that was like flawless. Like, you could, if there was like a market for something like that, like you would corner the market on it. I'm telling you, Mom.
There is a market on that, public speaking.
No, I mean like specifically retelling movies. Specifically. Wait, people do that on TikTok. I forgot. People literally retell movies on TikTok.
Oh,
they'll be like, if you haven't seen the such and such and you want to know the story,
I could
the spoilers,
so do that.
Mom, you're so good at it.
Especially if it's fresh. Like if I've just seen it, but I have to be excited about it.
You have to be excited about it.
I don't want it to be something that's
when you do your best work.
Now, I will say this. If it's trash, I could also talk about it too.
Ooh, because the key is there has to be passion behind it either way. Whether you feel strong in a good way. Passion is the fuel. Thank you. And we got there.
Yes.
You have to be passionate one way or the other, which I feel because I'm like, that's kind of just how I roll, period. And then like bouncing off of that, somebody who just like speaks for like too long and not like, you know what I mean? Like just in conversation, speaking for a long time, taking over, no one's getting a word in edgewise.
Bulldozing the conversation.
Thank you.
There's a phrase for that too. But speaking about like talking and communication, my second pet peeve, like I said, mine were kind of abstract. Lack of communication. Like when I tell you, I don't understand. And I know communicating is a skill that people have to build. But I'm talking about just basic communication of like, if you say you're going to get back with me, just get back with me. The reason why we work, look at your face.
Because the reason why we work
is because we communicate. Actually, we may over communicate.
I was going to say, Mom, we
over communicate.
But I would prefer the latter rather than the former. And because we actually talked about that.
The latter rather than the former.
Because I'm like, no, you're right. We definitely probably sometimes do over communicate. You know when I clocked it? When that one day I was like, so we're going tit for tat too much, because what would happen is you would say something or vice versa. This was literally both of us doing both sides of this. You'd be like, okay, well, Shari, I just feel like such and such. And I'm like, well, Mom, I do that because such and such. And you're like, well, I'm doing that because such and such. And I'm like, okay, so notice how when one of us like has a grievance, we always have to explain why each part happened and what the reaction was. I said, I think we're going tit for tat and we're both doing it on both ends.
You're right.
And we have to just, when one person says something, just like maybe here, unless it's just so key to explain why, we can't keep doing that. And then I remember after I had said it,
we have to edit ourselves.
We have to edit down. I remember after I said it, we maybe did it like a couple more times and I said, see? I said, and this is what it is. If I was so glad though that I thought about it, because I'm like, oh, we have been doing that.
We have.
But it kind of works in a way because like I don't have to like have confusion with you. Oh my gosh, like I'm trying to think, like I feel like you might be the only person that I never have confusion. Well, no. I'm like, I don't have confusion with Valentine.
It's rare that we have confusion through text.
Yeah.
We generally, wow, it's been an hour already?
See, and I knew it. At one point you were talking about something and I said,
wait. Now I
said time is winding up and I'm like, oh my God.
Was there something on your list?
It doesn't matter. Like we have to, like we don't have time.
She tells us that before.
Like, we have to wrap it up.
She says we have time. She just gives us that before. Jara's looking at me saying we have time.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say, speaking of communication, when I was in the airport, there was a man having a full this is a pet peeve. He was having a full conversation and his phone was on speaker.
You know that I hate that.
Jerry shaking his head. Jerry, is that your pet peeve too?
It's inconsiderate.
Low key. It's very inconsiderate to me. And the thing is, he didn't have it on lower. They were loud and he was loud.
That's rude.
And then he was like, I think I'm gonna have to get off the phone. And the guy too rolls over and says, you think? When I said it? Yeah,
wait, how did he react?
He said, that would be nice. And Jimmy was like, oh.
Right?
And then a few minutes later, this crew is over there and this one guy lets out this loud burp. And it was like, it was prolonged. It was a part of the airport. This was Delta.
What was up with that trip?
I started to question, am I at Frontier? No shade. Am I at Frontier?
Very much shade.
I started to question. He burped really loud. And who laughs and encourages him? My
Jimbo.
husband.
I was about to say Jimbo.
And the
for
other
sure.
people are laughing. I said, I am very uncomfortable and I'm overstimulated.
No, literally.
I said, this is not okay. Like, what are we doing here? Normally, let's do regular airport stuff. People come in, they have their food, they have their phone perhaps, they find a spot, they charge up their phone, and they eat. You might hear a little, come back, sweetie, sit down.
Thank you.
But all that,
how about let's do regular airport things?
Let's do airport stuff.
What if we did regular airport stuff at the airport?
First of all,
you're supposed to be on your P's and Q's in the airport anyway, because don't even play around with like being on the no-fly list. Like you've been supposed to be in your P's and Q's in the airport.
You in the airport. But go ahead
let me
and
ask
tell
you
me
this. Wait,
okay,
no, I have a question about your story.
Okay.
When old boy said that would be nice, how did like old guy react?
I don't even know if old guy heard him.
This wasn't on my list, but when people blast their music, like just out loud in general, like people do it in the grocery store a lot for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I'm like, that's rude because everybody did not like sign up for your music. And I guess somebody can make the argument when you're in public, you kind of sign up for it all, technically.
I'm thinking about all my pet peeves now. They're rushing me.
That's what I'm telling you. I wanted specific.
I know.
Again,
she'll just have to edit a little bit. I'm just going to
I'm
say
like,
this.
I mean, I'm going to be editing it.
My other pet peeve is checking out somewhere and the people who work there are having a full-blown conversation while I'm trying to. Jared is like,
hate that.
They're having a full-blown conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong. Y'all could have been conversing before I walked up and you close it out. I'm going to give you closeout time.
I know what you mean.
Because I don't think I'm an unreasonable person.
You're not unreasonable.
But you kept going on.
And you almost feel like, I don't think I should be privy.
Should I even be here? Am I intruding?
Also, sometimes you can't even check out for said conversation.
I mean? Like, and ma'am, I could be on a time constraint and you're trying to have this conversation. And I have been like at the Kroger by our house. They literally kept the conversation. And I'm waiting for them to say hello.
You go through the regular thing at that Kroger when they got a self-checkout.
Let me say this.
One thing I don't be is in that line.
99% of the time I do self-checkout because I don't do my main shopping at Kroger. Right. Mm-hmm. I usually just pick up stuff. But there are times where I've waited too long to do my bigger shopping elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
I may have more stuff than I feel like scanning.
I get you.
And that's when I will get in that line. Yeah. But that is to me, it's just rude.
It is.
And actually, here's what I will say, and I'll let you say yours so we can. Everything on my list goes back to number one, lack of consideration.
I was going to say a lot of
I put from no sense of urgency. The guy with the fireworks, you know, he wasn't being consistent and he was taking his time. Yeah. Lack of preparation.
Yeah.
That can be inconsiderate. That's all I got to say.
Yes. One for me, and you know this, like slow walkers or just like when things are moving slow, like in general. Like especially in a high traffic place, but that honestly, that's in fact.
But sorry, slow walker for you.
Hold on. Let me elaborate because I know that part of these things is me wanting things to move fast. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you're in a high traffic place and you have people who are like in the middle of a flow of traffic where things are supposed to be moving faster.
No sense of urgency.
And they don't care or they stop directly in the flow of traffic of people walking and somebody has to like dodge them. It's like, you're not the only person. You're not aware of your surroundings. Now. Anytime if I'm somewhere and things are moving quickly, a high foot traffic area, I have to stop. Let me get to the side so that I don't become like, it's not like obstacle course now. People have to jump over me and dodge around me.
Because you want to be considerate.
I want to be considerate. Or but things moving slow in general, it's like, honestly, I just like can't take it. Like when things are just moving slow in life,
but let me just say this.
I can't take it.
I'm just going to go say this.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had a great time in Canada, but there were just moments where I could tell like you were a little more hypervigilant.
Yeah. And that's my pace.
I know, but
and that's my pace.
And I'm okay about it.
Yeah.
If it just affects you, it's when you start to like project it onto me, and I'd be like,
"Now, Mom."
No. Let me. I see you're already ready to respond.
Okay.
It's just when it becomes a thing of, like, it makes me anxious.
I can.
You know what I'm saying? Like you project that anxiousness on me. Like when we were in that museum, and I know I was in the center. There were not a lot of people coming. It was actually wide open. And you're like, Mom, I was taking a video
were walking.
Which was people, but it was a wide open space. There was nobody, and you were like, "Mom, people are," and I look around and I was like, "There's nobody in front of me. There's nobody beside me. There's nobody like no one was around." It literally was a quick clip, and you were just like that hypervigilance of like, but mom being like, I taught you to be considerate,
So let's give us some context. Let's give us some context. A couple things. One, it's because not that you just do this every day, but I've seen you do it enough times to where I'm more aware of it. And I'm like, let me make sure that I say something. Two, that same day earlier, when we walked out of Insomnia, you step into the middle of the sidewalk to take a video of the city. And literally there was like a couple people walking like fast in that direction. And you like were not on that track. You were just like, oh, let me get a video of it. And I'm like, people are walking right now down this sidewalk.
I can give you that,
but here's right out in front of them.
Right, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when I walked out, I did not see them because I did that periphery thing. I didn't even see them. So that literally was just like it's kind of like in normal life, you're going to be like, I'm with
you on that. I'm
my
with
bad,
you on that.
excuse me.
Yeah.
But I just feel like in your, and you rush. And so in that rushing sometimes, I can kind of feel it. And I got to tell myself like, that's her. Like she's rushing, but I gotta be cognizant of it, or else it'll make me feel like like when we go to the airport, you're trying to move, and I'm just like, sorry, I'm not trying to take all day, but you just did your check-in, you just got your baggage, your ticket. Let me get mine. Let me go through you're like, next, I got it.
No, I'm with you on that because I can't. And Mercedes told me, she was like, maybe you can incorporate like slow living at some point. And I was with her.
Oh, what made her tell you that?
You were there. You were there for that.
Really?
Yeah. But about the sidewalk thing, I know that you didn't see. I know that you didn't see them coming, but it's like that's what I mean. Like when I'm getting ready to walk into a place where I know it's high traffic, even if I'm not seeing someone, I'm like, let me make sure that I don't start stopping in the middle of this area.
But you do understand, for me, that's the exception, not the rule.
What's the exception, not the rule?
I'm
in like
always
a foot
looking
traffic
around.
area that you.
Yeah, I think that's the exception for me. I work at a school. Like kids are all, like I'm always having to be mindful of my surroundings.
I'm with you with that. I'm just saying recently, since you've started filming stuff, I'll notice that you may not always think about if it's a high traffic area and you may stop. That's when I have been noticing, and not just like regular daily life.
I will say this: I can't take away your experience, but I do know that even before I film, I've already processed like, what do I, aside from the ones like, oh, I got to catch this moment. That wasn't I got to catch this moment thing, because I could have waited for people to walk past. I'm usually thinking about where I am, but we don't always get it right. It's not always like the perfect time. Like for you could have checked out your surroundings completely, and out of nowhere, somebody else could have come. And now they're like waiting for you. But I'm sure if you would see that, you'd be like, oh, because you feel like you were doing something wrong. You're not doing something wrong. You're just living in life, filming.
That's not the thing.
Taking a quick clip.
I think what I'm saying is, I wouldn't have been standing in an area where I would be in somebody's way when it comes to filming. That's all I'm saying. Like in daily life, you're like not the kind of person that is just, oh my gosh, people are bumping into me, I'm not aware of anything. You're like not like that. I'm saying like when you started filming, I noticed more. There'd be times where you would not necessarily be looking. Whereas like, and I don't know, maybe it's because I've been doing it for a minute. I'm immediately never standing anywhere. Like it's not even a thing of you could be standing somewhere and somebody could accidentally. It's like I'm not even standing in a place where people walk.
Because I will say this. Let's just say this. Because you are hypervigilant, and the truth lies somewhere between your hypervigilance and my, getting adjusted to filming all the time. Although it's been years now that I've been filming.
No, I mean like you've been doing it like daily now, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is a different level now.
For sure. It's been at least a year now that I've been doing it daily. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I've been doing it, but the truth lies somewhere in there, because you're going to make sure of everything to the degree of most people wouldn't.
Yeah, well, because when you film, you don't want to be a nuisance to the public because it's become a problem.
Right.
That's another thing. I'm like immersed in like that's like a thing now that's like really sorry, we have to wrap it up.
Yeah, but no, she didn't say it. I was just looking at her. Like, I don't think it's to the point where I'm a nuisance. Like, I don't think
you're a nuisance to the public. That was more so me. I don't think you're a nuisance to the public at all.
Yeah.
That was more so me explaining my hypervigilance about it is now because there is such an explosion of like people filming and content creating and like doing all this stuff, it's like become a thing that like people are sick of, rightly so, because people almost act like the world is their like television set.
Yeah.
And that everybody in there is just like a cast member in your show and you can just however.
I agree.
And like there
has to be some type of concessions and courtesies that you offer to people.
So it's always first on my mind. I'm like, these people are like existing in the world and they're not here for my video. So let me make sure that I don't like
that's fair. That's considerate.
Yeah. That's really my
Was there anything that was on that list that just was burning and we just say it and then we can
people who fish for compliments or like try to get me to like notice things. And even as a child, you remember me in the 5th grade and oh girl. And then people who like want to show me long videos like in a moment. Like in the moment.
Oh yeah, you're really big on that. Let me just say
this. It could be a 5-minute long video. I don't know what to do with my face.
We can for real close out after this because I think this is this is funny but sad to me. When Shari was in the 5th grade.
Oh my gosh.
There was a little girl.
You actually told this story before, I think.
There was a little girl in her class. Like they had snack time, right?
Wait, and so just hold on real quick.
Go ahead. You preface it and then I'll tell the actual story.
Well, because
quickly.
I want to see, and it's not about actual because we would say the same thing.
Watch yourself, not too much on me.
All right. It's not about there was a little girl. We were both little girls in the 5th grade.
Okay.
So I just want to make that clear. It wasn't like,
yeah, you said that with your chest.
And there's a little girl. We were two girls the same age in the 5th grade.
In 5th grade, this little girl sat behind Shari. And snack time, y'all know in elementary school, snack time is the best time, right?
I didn't think this is like
and
so
ridiculous. Every day somebody you're supposed to bring your snack. And on this particular day, give us the backstory with the young lady and her snack.
There is no backstory, and I always try to tell you that because that's the problem with this story is that this is revisionist history because I tell you every single time it wasn't like she was a girl who never had a snack with her. That wasn't the issue.
Right.
It's just
it was the particular
that
snack.
One day she just had a certain kind of snack.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed right there. Okay. I'll take over from there. Okay. She had a certain type of snack, and she's telling Shari about the snack. And she is so excited about it.
She wasn't telling me about it.
What was she?
She was trying to make noises and say things to get me to notice. I don't like when people do other things like passive on the side to try to make me notice something. I'd rather you say, look.
I stand corrected.
Don't like
she would have preferred the girl to just be like, look at this snack I got. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
But because she was being coy and just trying to make noise. Maybe because it's disingenuous.
It is also,
And so I was like, Shari, she was trying to let you
make you see her snack
and you didn't turn around.
I said, I never turned
Shari,
around.
you should have turned around and at least acknowledged the girl in her snack.
Shari. I don't like it.
Shari did not pay her one bit of attention. That girl could have not been sitting behind her as far as Shari is concerned. To this day,
because it gives the same vibe as when somebody's like upset about something and they're like, oh, like don't huff and puff.
Now that's true.
If you want to talk about what's wrong, like, because if I don't want to talk about what's wrong, I'm not going to do anything. If I want to talk about what's wrong, I'm going to be like, Mom, I just such and such and such and such. Or I would just retreat in my corner. You may talk to me because I've retreated.
I was going to say, if you're going to huff and puff, just go huff and puff.
Yeah, but I'm not going to huff and puff and try to, I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me something. Like, just say. Like, it makes me feel like manipulated in a small way.
That's it.
Trying to garner a reaction out of me for what? I don't like that.
It feels like manipulation. I'm going to do this so that they can turn around.
In a small way, but it's like, no.
Oh, yeah. I guess one of the pet peeves for our producers are probably that we don't wrap it up when we're supposed to. So
we do, though, pretty much.
This has been So Tell Me This Sundays. I'm Rachel.
I'm Shari, and we'll see you next.
Bye. Our food's not here?
That's my thing right now that I'm really confused about because I kept checking. I'm tracking order.